goddesses. You see that title? It's about woman today. Your translation, your defining epiphany moment of a woman. I know you already know Genesis, so we're still there. And social media, it does have some good points, but it really is spending a whole lot of time on degradation. Of everyone in general, but I'm going to talk about women and all the genders and the colors and the butterflies and this and that you can be instead of being the woman that God called you to be. And yes, they gave the Spanish una mujer and the la femme and the Czechs and something else, the different languages with the different names of woman. And of course, a woman is a woman. She's no longer a child. And, the definition, yes, she is the anchor of the family. She bears, the creation and multiplication of the family, having beautiful babies and nurturing them and loving them and being loyal to her husband and to her family, because it's not boyfriend, girlfriend. It is man, woman, husband, wife, bride, groom. So yeah, when you're no longer a little girl, you step into womanhood. And I was looking at the different translations here. And yeah, again, it's just saying that a mature person, no longer a little girl. So it says here, a female human. So yeah. Just feel free to add. The perfect example of a woman, your mother, grandmother, and it just goes on and on. And you see in your photo album, in your pictures, and all the magnificent, marvelous woman, in your history, in your family, your story, her story. And the woman in my family, most of them, are married. I do have a profession. They're either a nurse, teacher, in the military, do have homemakers. So in my immediate, my mom was a registered nurse and she was married. So yeah, and she fulfilled her womanly duties and love for her husband and family, her children, and her career. And that's what a woman is: mature, loving, loyal, honorable, respectful, a virtuous woman, like in the Bible, who, yes, talks about that virtuous woman was far more valuable than rubies. Yeah, it's in Proverbs. And yeah, okay, let's go to another one here. Let me see. I'm just going to see if someone gives like a crazy definition, like a woman is a butterfly, metaphors, all that good stuff. But no, we don't want to, get off the subject and start, going with on social media the 100 different genders. I mean that you can be, which is nonsense. It's not, pushing men forward. It's, whatever that is, the dumbing down theory, acting like you're cats and dogs and all this foolishness. That's not what we're talking about. So, okay, I'm just going to see if they say something different on this one. Okay. Well, they're making it political, but that's not really what I'm looking for. All right. So, okay. Well, they want to make it medical. An adult human female, an individual, an assigned female at birth, possessing the two X chromosomes capable of pregnancy and childbirth. So I do love the medical context of a woman there. Love that. Yeah, again, it refers to a mature female member of the human species, and that's what a woman is: nurturing, loving, honorable, virtuous. Absolutely. Let's see if they make it philosophical. Going back to Genesis in the Garden of Eden. Okay, hold on. Yes, it's all about woman today. So if you're wondering, what is this live? What is this message? Yes, what is a woman? Yes, a phenomenal woman. Maya Angelou said it best. And also, I love Betty Shabazz, on nurturing woman and loving woman and the woman's role. And there was another lady. She wrote about understanding the black man and understanding the black woman. You can probably find those books on Amazon. All right, so let me see here. Gosh, I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know. All right, it was turned down. Some told me to check. Yeah, so I turned it up so now y'all can hear me. It's all about woman today. And then, of course, you came to this earth for a purpose, woman, and you're getting sidetracked with this foolishness that you're, an alpha female, a toxic female, any foolishness to distract women from her purpose, you know. And so we can go back to the beginning if you want. If you want me to, you can tell me in the comments of back to the beginning in the Bible in Genesis. All right, so okay, here they're talking about toxic woman. That's not, we're talking about loving, nurturing, virtuous woman. So, ooh, very interesting. Okay, I might play this one for y'all. Let's see.
You ready for the room tour?
Yeah. Oh
okay, so this is a loft bed, and we actually got this from Max and Lily.
Women are imperfect men. This disturbing and offensive quote by Aristotle is often cited to illustrate the deep-seated misogyny that pervaded much of Western philosophy. How is it that some of the greatest minds in history, those who dedicated their lives to the pursuit of truth and wisdom, could harbor such contempt for half of the human population? This is a question that has puzzled scholars and feminists alike, and one that deserves careful examination. Aristotle, one of the most influential philosophers in Western thought, held that women were naturally inferior to men. In his view, women were biologically defective, a deviation from the ideal human form, which was male. This belief was not an isolated quirk of his philosophy, but was deeply embedded in his understanding of nature and ethics. According to Aristotle, women were passive, irrational, and incapable of the same level of virtue as men. His ideas had a profound impact on the development of Western thought and were echoed by many subsequent philosophers. Plato, Aristotle's teacher, also had complicated views on women. On one hand, he recognized women's ability to reason and advocated for their inclusion in his ideal republic. However, he still regarded women as inherently weaker and less capable than men. While his vision of gender equality was progressive for his time, it was still based on the assumption of male superiority. The misogyny of the ancient philosophers was not confined to the classical era. Medieval and Renaissance thinkers continued to propagate these harmful ideas. Thomas Aquinas, a towering figure in Christian philosophy, echoed Aristotle's views, arguing that women were naturally subordinate to men. He believed that women were created to be helpers to men, and that their primary purpose was procreation. Aquinas' views were deeply influential in shaping the Church's doctrine on gender roles, and his writings continue to be studied and revered by many. Immanuel Kant, a central figure in modern philosophy, also held deeply misogynistic views. He believed that women were naturally predisposed to be submissive, and that their primary role was to please men. In his work, Kant argued that women lacked the rational capacity necessary for moral and intellectual pursuits. He dismissed women's contributions to philosophy and science, reinforcing the stereotype that women were intellectually inferior to men. Friedrich Nietzsche, known for his provocative and often controversial ideas, also had a complex and often contradictory attitude towards women. On one hand, he criticized the subjugation of women and called for their liberation. On the other hand, his writings are filled with derogatory remarks about women's character and capabilities. Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, or overman, was inherently male, and he often used women as a metaphor for weakness and decadence. Even the Enlightenment.
All right. That information is not very enlightening towards women. And so he's talking about, whatever that is back in the 15th, 16th century, Aristotle and all of those who did not like women. And so that, I'm going to step in here, y'all. Okay. That wasn't really what it just got sidetracked of me, what I wanted to talk about, what woman is, a beautiful, loving, nurturing, loyal woman. In the Bible, Eve is the helpmeet and woman is today. So he was he was talking about all of those so-called scholars of yesteryear who obviously didn't like women. You can hear what he just said, that women are inferior to men, and that's not what God said in the Bible. So anywho, what is a woman is what this message is all about. And absolutely, the woman is the anchor of the family. She builds her family. Yes, she multiplies the family. The one scholar in there in the 16th, 17th century, said women procreate. Yes. And so that's how all of us got here. So, women are very intelligent. They are not inferior to men. So, and they're still permeating the hatred towards women. And so women in today's society is, some of them, don't get me wrong, okay, some women are helping that stereotype. And so women are strong, powerful, intelligent, virtuous, loving, nurturing. My mom was all those things. Women are those things. So that stereotype of you are beneath a man, you're inferior to a man, and you're stupid, whatever. Women don't accept it. I mean, I don't know what more I could say. You are not those negative, toxic things that they want you to be. Now, when you turn on TV, social media, and all that, yeah, they're going to show women, stupid and, everything, she's showing everything inappropriate, speaking with lackluster, no eloquence. That's what the world wants to push. They want to push a woman like that. And that's not so. And so, woman, you need not to fulfill that stereotype, that lie, that role. And, I don't know what more I can say, because it is up to you, woman. In the Word, in the Bible, it is where Satan is your enemy. Satan is attacking you every day. And it's because you are the seed. You are the power. You bring forth life. And so Satan can trick you into being that toxic so-called alpha female. I'm so bad and tough and, powerful, and I wear the pants, and, all of this foolishness. Then you're helping the cause. And so, what is a woman? Yes, a virtuous, loving, beautiful, honorable woman. Yes, eloquent, elegance. Yes. And there's no need that, this is 2025. There's really no need for you to fulfill that stereotype. I mean, honestly, you should, when you see that on TV, social media, every time you turn the TV on, just showing belligerent, foolish woman, obviously that's not what you're portraying. And so, turn it off or get with a group, of like-minded women, virtuous women. But yeah, that's what society is doing now, is tricking women into destroying themselves, self-destruct. And I see it. I see it a lot. They keep pushing it on TV, and it's just nauseating. So, woman, be the woman that you are. Be the phenomenal woman that you are. That, yeah, Maya Angelou said, the phenomenal woman. And I just want to share this message with you. It's just been on my mind all day, just to talk about woman. Yes, they gave that definition of a femme woman, the qualities, the femininity and the love and everything. And a mature woman, with the XX chromosomes, the medical, terms. And, she's the one who multiplies and births life on this planet, this earth. So yeah, it's just incredible. Yes, it is. Woman, you are incredible. You are phenomenal. I just want to share that with you. So yeah, I know I didn't mean it to, get so serious. Hopefully y'all didn't, like say, oh my God, what's going on? But you already know what's going on. They are destroying women. That's what they're doing. And just, what I just played to you, Aristotle and all of them back in the 16th, 17th, whatever, 14th century, said that women are inferior to men and this and that and the other because they hate women. that's them. And so what they are doing is they're still permeating this foolishness. All right, because there are men who love women. Let's get on that topic. That'll be another, topic for another day. But yeah, so I just want to share that with you. You are a phenomenal woman, and you have the most amazing day,